The Arcturian Group Message, July 20, 2014. Today we speak to you of ascension. You are beginning now to see the results of higher dimensional energies pouring into world consciousness, causing the dissolution of many old paradigms and bringing in a receptivity to truth, and there is much yet to come. Up till now, ascension has been the distant goal of hundreds of individual lifetimes of experience and learning, finally to be understood only after death with the help of one's guides. However, at this time, now, planetary energy is shifting and raising in frequency through the presence of so many enlightened beings on Earth at this time. There are many from other planets here in human body, simply to add their light to this process. The higher dimensional light of so many enlightened ones is serving to dissolve the false, and bring about the personal ascension of many, while still in physical body. Those of you reading and resonating with the Arcturian messages can rest assured that you chose to be here at this powerful time to be a part of this. Ascension is the reason so many struggle with difficult experiences. In order to shift into higher dimensional energy, there must first be a clearing of the lower resonating energies still held in cellular memory. These energies cannot be carried with you into the higher. These energies usually remain dormant as long as an individual is comfortable and all seems to be going well, thus some powerful wake-up call may be needed to jolt him out of complacency. Negative experiences are not signs of failure for a spiritual student, but instead are indications of a spiritual readiness to move deeper. However, not all energies needing to be released are negative. Sometimes it is an intense connection to someone that has become so interdependent over time as to hold the student back. Because this is such an important time on Earth, most of you chose birth families that would serve to activate deeply buried issues, bringing them to a conscious level where they could be finally resolved and released. Through an honest examination of all experiences, the good as well as the bad, you will come to understand that much of what you have accepted as the way things must be done, must appear, must work, in order for them to be correct, are instead simply concepts, many of which were accepted in other lifetimes and carried into this one. Everyone has had different lifetime experiences, and so everyone's clearing experiences will be different. Impersonal universal human consciousness contains all third-dimensional thoughts and beliefs. The beliefs and ideas of this impersonal human consciousness are never yours until you personally accept them as true, at which time they become your state of consciousness and can begin to manifest outwardly. You may say, "But I don't believe this," or, "I am spiritually aware, so how did this thing manifest in my life?" This is because energies of duality and separation are still resonating in cellular memory, and any general acceptance of the third-dimensional belief system will appear outwardly. There is no unmanifest consciousness. Many of you may re-experience these impersonal energies as they clear, especially those from the emotional body. Just don't pull them back in, once again personalizing them. If it seems to you as if you are going nowhere spiritually, know that this suggestion arises from human concepts of how spiritual experiences must look. Films, books, and even some spiritual teachers present pictures and ideas of ascension and spiritual evolution according to their personal experiences and state of consciousness. Every individual is different and there is no one experience for all. To believe you must have a particular experience as human. Some are attracted to the teachings of the East because they learned and lived these teachings in other lifetimes and resonate with them. Others may find themselves drawn to teachings from the nature path, those of Native Americans and other Aboriginal groups. Many are finding themselves drawn to convents and monasteries for no apparent reason. This is because you have lived these experiences in other lifetimes, and everything you resonate with either positively or negatively is now coming to your awareness. Always remember that at a certain point, you no longer need the modalities, paths, rituals, and teachings. Tools can guide and assist in the earlier phases of awakening, but are no longer necessary after realizing that you already are that which you seek, and that your oneness with Source constitutes your oneness with all that Source is. The tools can help open an individual to deeper awareness, but there comes a time at which any dependence upon them must cease in order for the teaching to come from within. holding tightly to some path, tradition, or teaching after it has been outgrown only serves to keep one in old and finished energy. This does not mean you cannot occasionally work with an evolved reader or teacher, or schedule an energy session, or take some class you may be guided to take. It means you no longer believe you need these things. It is important that you not judge yourselves for any human beliefs or thoughts that may flow to you even if you temporarily accept them. Impersonal ideas are often inadvertently accepted because you still resonate with their energy. For example, if a person has had many previous lifetimes of disease, he will be more susceptible to the concepts of health and disease floating about in universal consciousness. Resist any temptation to guilt, regret, or self-loathing for thoughts or actions you may embrace. Instead, use these realizations as reminders to go deeper. If you realize that you have ignorantly accepted some belief or another that you now recognize as false, know that the sky is not going to fall down, nor will you be smote from above as punishment. These experiences are simply opportunities for growth, and investing them with a power they do not have is duality and separation. Always remember that nothing, no word, thought, experience, or appearance can ever separate you from who and what you really are. Learning becomes more gentle with time because the need to learn through struggle and pain is finished. Most of you are at that point now. Trust your intuitive sense about things. If something in your life, food, books, entertainment, worldview, etc., is no longer resonating with you, know that you have shifted beyond the energy of it, and try not to revive it as it was in the past, no matter how pleasant or perfect it may have been at that time. Try very hard not to add energy to negative outer appearances, but instead reinterpret them. For example, you may become aware of some humanly negative or violent activity, but the spiritual reality is that all activity between living things is the activity of interconnectedness, love, many within the one. In this case, that spiritual interconnectedness is being reflected through the third-dimensional consciousness of separation. It is still the interaction within the one, but colored by false belief. Trust that once you choose to evolve, you are indeed evolving regardless of any outer appearances. It is not necessary to jump up and down, light a candle, chant certain chants, go to church every week, or stand facing a certain direction saying certain words to get the process moving. You have all evolved beyond these beginner activities, or you wouldn't be reading these messages. Nothing is needed but the intention to evolve. It does not mean you cannot visit a church and enjoy the beauty of a service, nor does it mean you cannot sign a petition or speak your truth. It means you no longer give these things a power they don't have, but instead, rest in the realization that there is only one power, and that power is within. There are those who believe they have already known all the answers, and so there is nothing more for them to learn or understand. Sadly, this ego's stance serves to act as a box enclosing them with their own creations, and prevent any real spiritual growth until such time as they are ready to open themselves to more. Evolution is a gradual journey into higher dimensional energy. Ascension is the achievement of that state of consciousness that will allow you to shift into the higher frequencies. The higher and faster the frequencies, the nearer to pure light they become. The third-dimensional world is unable to see these higher frequencies with human eyes, and so denies them, but this is changing as more and more come into alignment with them. As beings of light, you allowed your energy to slow and become dense in order to experience the third dimension for the purpose of remembering truth while seemingly separated from it. At this time, most of you are ready for completion, and are on earth to once and for all clear any remaining energies from these lifetimes. Trust that you are well on your way regardless of the lack of so-called spiritual experiences. Open your hearts to the truth behind what you may behold in the outer, knowing that all, even the seemingly unawakened, are releasing old energy. There are some not yet ready for ascension. Honor them and concern yourselves with your own inner work. It is not wisdom to try and convert another not yet ready for your level of awareness. Keep truth silent and secret in your heart, and those ready for what you have will find you, for energy seeks its own level. Relax, rest, and take time often to go within. Even if you have to get up in the middle of the night to find quiet, stay present in each moment no matter how mundane or frightening. This is the spiritual journey which rarely comes as the blast of heavenly light depicted in movies, except to those who have already attained their personal ascension in a previous lifetime. Trust, trust, trust that which is within. It is time to claim your own divine power. We are the Arcturian group. Channeled by Marilyn Raphael. www.onenessofall.com